I'm Sam McGranahan here with Bad Omens. Welcome home, you guys. You guys are both from Richmond, so am I.
Awesome.
How's the tour been going so far?
Tour's been good. It's pretty much everything we expected in terms of heat. Luckily we've managed to avoid a lot of the bigger heat, like hot portions of the country, and a lot of the storms. But it's been good as far as like the crowd turnout goes and crowd response and everything in the shows. It's been awesome.
So do you guys ever miss Richmond or anything at all?
I currently still live in Richmond, so I just fly out back home. If you're asking if I miss it right now, a lot. Yeah, I love Warped Tour, and this opportunity is just monumental for Bad Omens and everything. Getting to see all these bands I grew up with, but always miss home. Home is home.
So Noah, for you, how is living on the West Coast different from living on the East Coast?
Ironically enough, I couldn't stand it the first couple years that I moved there and I lived there. I missed Richmond all the time, and I just could not stand living on the West Coast between like the culture and just like the living conditions that kind of are different out there. And then after I got more like acclimated to it and more used to it, and I got a better place to live, I went back to Richmond for a brief time and kind of realized I didn't miss it at all, and that like I just kind of enjoyed being on the West Coast and doing my own thing. So it's definitely something that takes getting used to, but I love it now. I miss it.
That's awesome. The music video for your song, The Worst in Me, got 1 million views on YouTube in its first 2 months. Do you remember how that made you guys feel?
Jeez. It was very overwhelming, and honestly, we were not expecting that, I don't think, at all. I mean,
I think when we wrote the song and when we had sent the pre-production demos to Sumerian, they were just like, "Oh my God, this is a hit!" But we didn't know what that entailed. We just thought it was a good song. When Worse Than Me went online, I think the first day I got 20,000 views. It was just unbelievable, the growth of that, and it hit 1 million in no time. It's over 2 million now. None of us ever expected that. And I think when we meet a lot of bands, they're just like, "Oh, that one song hit like 1 million that quick, right?" It's just like unbelievable. I mean, it really is just a testament to the fans liking it. We wouldn't be here without them.
So your debut album is coming up on 1 year soon. How does that feel for you guys?
It's pretty cool. It's kind of hard, being on the inside of the band and trying to, watch how it's grown because of how long the music existed prior to its release and prior to its, vision, like its appearance to the public. Like we've all been writing it and working on it for so long, and just to be on Warped Tour and to have all these opportunities we've been taking advantage of recently, all before the album even had a year's anniversary. It's very cool when you take a step back and realize that, and you look at it chronologically. So it's very intense, really thinking about it.
Very humbling.
Yeah, very humbling too.
So when you perform these songs, do you remember kind of the feelings of what you had when you wrote those songs?
I wish I could say I did, but honestly, like it's because it was written so long ago. It kind of just I still feel like intensely when we perform, but it's a different kind of feeling. It's a more positive thing. Like at the time, most of our music and my lyrics and our album was written out of spite. And now when I perform, there's still that passion and energy and a little bit of anger in it, but like I said, it's more of a positive thing, and I don't really think about the meaning as much as I do just the performance and the feeling.
So how have you grown since under Jason Malfoy's management from Empire to Imperial Artist Management?
We've grown a lot. I can say just personally I've grown because I have a pretty close relationship with Jason and the company. Yeah, and he teaches us a lot of things about like just the ins and outs of the industry as a whole. And it's really benefited the band when it comes to touring and just the tour lifestyle and like performing and just all of the logistics that don't get as much attention or you don't expect to really require attention that really do, and they help make a band.
You guys recently came back from touring from Europe. How was that? Did you guys have a favorite show that you did, or what'd you do on your downtime?
Oh man, honestly, there really wasn't much downtime at all because those drives were so intense. The one day that I will say we did have some downtime to get to do some touristy stuff was Paris, and that was unbelievably incredible. We got to walk up to the mezzanine level of the Eiffel Tower, get to walk around on the Champs-Élysées a little bit. But as far as the shows are concerned, I think we all went into it just being like, "Oh, these headliners first time, maybe 50 people will show up." Completely shocked us when it was like 150, 200 kids. I think the show that stands out the most to me outside of the festivals, because those are just like crazy oversold and awesome regardless. Uh, London, like we expected like 60 kids, ended up being like 200 or something like
Yeah,
that.
it was like I think 100, like almost 200 fans there, and Paris was also about the
Paris
same.
was crazy.
Paris and London were crazy.
Oh my god,
It was awesome.
so cool.
So Noah, does J. Cole influence your music? Like, is it more lyrically or production?
Strictly lyrically, I wish I could say production-wise he influenced us, but obviously like rap and hip hop, as much as you can try to integrate them, they still are two different cultures and sounds. But lyrically, definitely as far as his like flow and his rhyme schemes and stuff like that, and just kind of his delivery as a whole, definitely inspires me as a vocalist and as a writer.
Vincent, what's the difference in technique between a 4-string bass and a 5-string bass?
Oh man. Uh, so I have actually never been a fan of 5-string basses. It just feels completely unnatural to me. I've tried them out, and we've had a bunch of people say that they might cater to our sound a little bit better because of the lower tunings. But I've been playing 4 strings in orchestra. I'm classically trained in upright bass from the time I was in 6th grade. So when I made the transition to 4 strings, I knew that that's all I'd ever do. Um, Honestly, whenever I put a 5-string in my hand now, there's just so much extra meat. I can't do it. It's just not for me. All the respect to anyone else who does it. 4-string for life.
Okay, thank you guys so very much.
You set my demons free.